Hello, my name is Noah Brigo. I'm here to showcase what I've done for the Ruby's 2D Adventure, which you can find on the Unity Learn webpage. And as you can see, I've completed 100% of it with a few minor problems I had. See, we have, the robots. We have included, the particle system. If you click on it, you can see it's working perfectly fine. The smoke effect, and if you open up the editor and stuff like that, expand it, it's working good. We have the texture sheet animation with the two different smoke particles and everything, and then we have the variations, the randomness from 0 to 1 and stuff like that. We have the collectibles working. We have the danger spikes working. We have collisions on certain tiles working and everything like that. We got the dialogue boxes working, character movement, projectiles, and sounds. And we even have the cinema machine working, so that's good. So let's do a quick playthrough of what we have so far. I mean, what we have completely. So also, yes, you can see that the canvas is working as well with the health bar. Now, if we go up here, as you can see, the dialog box is hidden, but if we press X, it says Rubit, which is like supposed to be Ruby, but he calls her Rubit, and it says, "Please help me fix these junk bot servants. They've gone rogue." So you have to help. You have to help this you have to help Jambi. That's the frog's name. You have to help Jambi fix these robots. So as you can see, they when you throw a cog at them, you fix them, and they dance when you fix them. The noise is working and everything. You can the spatial noise. So when you walk away, it should get quieter. Yep. And then when you take damage, yep. And it has that timer, that 2-second timer when you get hit. And then when you get clicked a little strawberry thing, you get more of your health and plays a sound. All the animations are working and everything. So let's get some more collectibles. And if you get hit by this enemy, you should lose some health. So you throw a cog at it, and then you fix the robot. Get some more collectibles and everything. So for some reason, when I did the pivot bottom thing, it wasn't quite layering them correctly. So like I have, rubies sitting behind the that tree, but when you go up, it's like not very accurate. So if you go back here, like you literally are on top of the tree, like way up higher than what it should be, realistically. All right, it just doesn't look very nice. So like if I go all the way up here, she'll be behind it, but she'll be right in front of it very early on. Like if you go behind this building, you're just going right over it physically. I added a collider on the building too and stuff like that. The colliders are working for all of the characters in the boxes and stuff and the tiles, so that's good. So yeah, that's the playthrough of it. It's pretty simple. There's no conditioning where like you win the level or anything, or you die, you just lose health and stuff like that. That wasn't part of the tutorial. I'm pretty sure it would have been easy to add it, but I didn't add it in. So the tutorial started you out with just adding just a simple Ruby character, and then using and then adding a rigid body, which caused it to fall. So you needed to turn off the gravity scale, and then you needed to also do a box collider so that it could detect collisions. And the box collider is for triggering events in the game, like getting hit or taking damage, or colliding with stuff. And then we have the script and everything. We have the animator, which animates Ruby and everything. We have the Ruby script, which it should be somewhere. It's right here. We have the public variable, speed public variable, max health, and everything. We have the projectile prefab, which is in the script itself. And that's a public variable as well. And it's not in the hierarchy, but it is in the prefabs, and then you just drag it in there, and that's what Ruby uses to reference what she wants when she's going to throw something. You could actually set it to something else. I think it would throw something else, but yeah. Then we have set 2 different sounds for when Ruby gets hit, and that was declared all in the scripting and everything. And we have the invincible time, which is 2 seconds. That's good. So then, yeah, when you start on the tutorial, they have you move around Ruby simply and everything, and then you add a box which had a collider in it. Simple. And then when you edit the collider, you can change the scale of the size of it and everything. And then they had you add a tile set, and that was pretty simple. You just went into the art, and then you just split the tiles. So yeah, you just went into here, you did the sprite editor, then you split them up by 3 by 3, and then you just dragged it into the tile palette here. Like, you just drag it in, and then you could paint from it. So let's just paint something like that. You could just paint stuff. That was pretty simple. And then they had you add a health collectible, which is right here. And all it has is it's just a box collider and then a simple script, and then a simple collectible sound. So that's easy. And then you had the damageables, which are right here. And then when you they had this special tiling property that when you the draw mode is tile, but the tile mode was adaptive. So when you expanded them, they would kind of tile a bit, but you have to kind of size it the right way to have it work correctly and everything. And yeah, so then we added the animations, which was a very complicated process, but I got them working, thankfully. Originally, the robots were not working. They were shrinking when you had them walk. They were a different size, but I just ended up taking the robot taking the robot sprite sequence and then just importing it in there that way, and it worked fine. So and then they had us add a cinema machine camera. That was fairly simple, and I was impressed by that, how easy it was to just have the camera follow the Ruby object, and that was fun. Yeah. And then in order to get the audio working, you had to add this listener, and you had to shift it 10 units in so that it could actually listen into the spatial audio and stuff like that. So that was interesting. I might have time to go through some of the scripting and stuff. Let's see here. I have about 5 minutes left. So with the Ruby controller, we had the public, all the public stuff, even the audio and stuff like that. We have the invincible time, check if they are in fact invincible, Ruby, and then we have the controllers for access input and stuff like that, and then we have the animator, which is for controlling the animations, and then we have an audio source. I forgot what that was exactly for, but I think it was to control Ruby, specifically to control her audio for the external stuff like the health collectible and the damage spike, the damage zone. And then this is just initiating, the all the variables and stuff like that. And then this is getting the access in the void loop, the update loop. And this just checks if the invincible was triggered when you got your health changed negatively. So you play the hit sound, and then you turn your invincible to true, and then you set the invincible timer, and then what this would do is just decrease the invincible timer, and then if the invincible timer was less than 0, then you just set it to false, and that's how that worked. And then this literally just throws projectile in the launch function, which is all the way down here. And then what you do is you take the projectile object that you declared up here, if I can find it, projectile prefab, and then you link it in the Unity editor, and then you can actually instantiate it and then create copies of it. And then this is the position, and then this is based on the rotation, which we don't care. So quaternion identity is just no rotation, apparently. So yeah, and then this just sets the launch of the projectile by the look direction, and then the force, and then we set the animation of Ruby to the launch, and then we play the throw sound. That was interesting. And then we just have this generic play sound audio clip thing. I think that's for the external stuff. We have the health bar, which just shrinks the mask whenever you take damage or anything, and you just literally set the value based on it. So, and then the projectile. This is for the projectile, and then this sets the time to kill. Or it's not time, it's based on unit of distance, which is 1,000 units, I believe. And then this is the launch, which adds the direction and the force. It multiplies it. And then this is collision detection. And then it checks if the collision is an enemy, and if it is, and the E is not null, which means it has found the enemy. You want to set the enemy to the robot to fix. And then this is for the NPC, which is for controlling all the chat dialogue stuff, which is interesting. And then this is the timer for the dialogue. Here's the health collectible, and as you can see, when you trigger the enter, checks for the Ruby controller, and then it changes the health to +1, and then it destroys the game object, but then it also plays that the collected sound, which is from the Ruby object, and that's what that play sound function is for, is to get the sound from that. Here's the enemy controller, which is basically just controlling up and down, left and right, and you just check a box based on that, as a Boolean. It's pretty simple. You just set the rigid body to either left or right or up or down, and then checks on the collision. If it's the Ruby object, then you decrease the health, and then within that health function, it plays that sound. And then this is the fixed function. You change broken, which is a bool, to false, which means the robot is fixed. And then you turn off all physics interactions with any external stuff, and then you set the animation based on the trigger fixed, and then you turn off the smoke effect, which is important because you want the smoke to look realistic when it turns off. So all the lingering smoke stays there and everything. And then the damage zone is essentially the same as the collectible, but it's just in the negative. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my Ruby project. Yeah, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Thank you.